And yes, speaking of Canada here, for many Indians, moving abroad, it has never been just about building a career. It has always been about building a life. A life where one day parents can also join them, grandchildren can grow up with grandparents, and families can finally live under one roof after years of sacrifice. But today, that dream has suffered a major setback. Yes, the Canadian government has announced that it is freezing new applications under the Parents and Grandparents program. That means if you were planning to sponsor your parents for permanent residency in Canada, you can no longer submit a new application. Well, the government has also stopped accepting new interest to sponsor forms and will not issue fresh invitations until further notice. Now, can you imagine the whole situation of an Indian family who's living in Canada? They have spent years studying, working, paying taxes, finally getting a PR, or they become a Canadian citizen. They always believed that after settling down, they would bring their parents to Canada. But suddenly, that plan has been put on hold. So the question is, why has Canada taken this whole decision? Well, the answer, it lies in growing pressure on housing, healthcare, and public services. The government says it wants to control immigration number and reduce the growing backlog of applications. Right now, more than 60,000 parent sponsorship applications are already waiting in the system, and processing it can take years. Under the current immigration plan, Canada will process only a limited number of applications each year, and only from people who had earlier applied before the freeze. For thousands of Indian families, this is more than just an immigration policy. It is an emotional decision. Parents who were waiting to spend their retirement with their children, they may now have to continue living thousands of kilometers away. Families who thought that they would finally reunite may now have to wait for an unknown period. There is still one option available, and that is the super visa. Parents and grandparents can still visit Canada for longer period of time under this particular visa. But remember here, it is only a temporary solution. It does not offer permanent residency, and families must arrange expensive private medical insurance before visitors are generally not covered under Canada's public health care system. For many Indians, Canada has always represented family values and long-term security. But today, those dreams are becoming much harder to achieve. And yes, while some Indians are struggling to bring their parents to Canada, thousands of others are making an even bigger decision. They are leaving America and they are coming back to India.